Hi, so I'm going to be doing my process speech self-evaluation via video. So I'm just going to be looking kind of back and forth to make sure that I'm including everything. As far as the strengths and weaknesses of my introduction, I think a strength was that it was short and sweet. I think it was concise on explaining what I was going to be talking about in my speech, and I think I gave reasoning on the knowledge that I had about the topic. I think a weakness was that it just didn't really excite the audience. It didn't give them a huge reason to be drawn in. So I think that was a weakness. As far as the body, I think I had good knowledge and I stuck really well to my outline, and I think it flowed well. The use of the visual aids, I think that was a huge strength, having the PowerPoint there that they could actually see the process of soap being made, because it's such a complicated process if you're just trying to explain it. So I think for them to be able to see it was really helpful. But I think that that was a huge weakness for my eye contact. I think for regarding delivery, I think it was conversational, but I think my eye contact was subpar because of the visual aids. I think it helped jog my memory and it helped me process what I wanted to say, but because it was there, I think I wanted to just look at the visual aids and just kind of click instead of really just focusing on the audience. And I think my conclusion was good in that I mentioned the chemistry and the creativity, which were the two main points of my speech, but I think it was just very short, and I don't think it did a wonderful job of really wrapping up everything in a really just a cohesive manner. I think that could have been better. As far as being audience-centered, I honestly don't think I was. I think I pretty much looked at the visual aids for pretty much most of the time. I think the only time I really made good eye contact was in the very beginning and the very end, and then a few times in the middle when I paused. But other than that, I think that was about it. Were you satisfied, happy? I think I was satisfied overall. I think it was okay. I've never really given a process speech before. They've always been a speech about someone or something. So just trying to explain a process, I think, was really hard for me. So I'm not super satisfied with how it turned out. I think I could have done a lot better, and I think I've done better in the past with other speeches. So honestly, I was a little disappointed, looking back at it. I thought at the time, giving it, that it was okay. But looking back, I realized, wow, I didn't really make eye contact. I said a lot, and I just didn't really feel great about it. If I could do the speech again, I would probably try to make eye contact more, to almost just list bullet points, honestly, to not even use the speech outline or the speaking outline, but just to honestly write down my own bullet points and just use that. I think almost having too many words, even the speaking outline had too much for me, that I would get distracted, and I feel like I have to read everything so I wouldn't miss anything out, I wouldn't leave anything out. So I think just having bullet points would be more helpful for me. And I think I would also try to make my intro and my conclusion better. And I think that would be the one or two goals that I would work on for my next speech, was just really honing in on the intro and the conclusion, making those very audience driven, and really trying to get hone in on the audience, get their attention in the beginning, and then really conclude it at the end. And I think depending on the speech, it can be easier or harder. And I think I really struggled with this speech, even with the outlines and trying to make it, just because it was so odd with trying to make it conversational, but still try to talk about a process and do the process justice without doing it on site. So I think that was hard. So I think those would be the two things that I would really work on for the next time. Thanks.